Well, I'm on the phone with Seth Brown, the head women's soccer coach at Maine Maritime Academy. And boy, I'll tell you, I'm getting my seasons mixed up. I almost called you the basketball coach. And it's crazy this time of the year, and I know that you're wicked busy. You had homecoming this week, this past weekend. Not the results on the soccer pitch that you would have liked, but I'm sure it was a great time with homecoming.
It was, Chris. It's great talking to you. Homecoming was a blast, and a shout-out to Coach Chris McKenney and the entire football team for bringing the Admirals Cup back to Castine. That was quite an exciting football game to watch. So I don't know a lot about American football, but I know that was a fun game.
Well, I think it was the timekeeper, I think, was awarded the game ball as they had it, and Mass Maritime was getting ready to score, and time ran out, and you know what that's like when you're pressing on the goal and all of a sudden you run out of time.
Yeah, you'd always like to have a few more minutes if you're behind. So. Yeah, we didn't get the results we wanted this weekend. We competed very hard both games, and the Colby-Sawyer, the conference match, was a big milestone for us in that we were able to compete with Colby-Sawyer, and in fact, Colby-Sawyer gave up one goal the entire league season last year, and we put two in against them.
Oh, wow.
This year, and it was the first time they'd been behind in a game, I believe, in 2 years as well. So that was a good milestone for us to let us know where we are. Now, we didn't get the results we wanted, and there were certainly a few things that we could point to that had we done differently, potentially that's a winnable game or a draw. And in conference game, the points are so important. A point means a lot, and 3 points means even more.
Right.
Bates on Sunday was interesting in that, when you have to go into Sunday and play a non-conference game after putting all kinds of emotion and energy into a Saturday game, you often wonder how are the players going to come out and compete. And to be fair, we played really as well as we could against against Bates under the circumstances.
Yep.
And Bates is a good team. They're organized. They're deep. The second half, we were really just putting out fires, just trying to get through to the 90th minute and see if we could, counter in and steal a goal away. But the girls came out and they competed very, very well. The first half, we were actually finding some rhythm passing, and although I could be disappointed with the results, I certainly couldn't be disappointed with the effort that the players put out on the field. And after Saturday's game, the best comment, in the locker room was as happy as the players were with how they competed. One of our captains stepped up and said, be happy, but it's not good enough. We have to get better now. So, they were focused right from that moment. And let me tell you, the girls put a ton of energy out there this weekend, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
You've got there's no rest here. I mean, looking at your schedule, you've got a conference game at UMaine Farmington on Saturday, and then you host UMPI in a non-conference game on Sunday.
That's correct. Yeah, that's college soccer in America for you right there. Play two, get a few days, and play two more. So,
right.
Farmington has had some mixed results this year. They have the ability to beat good teams. It's a conference game. It's 3 points. It's 3 valuable points, and that's really a game that if we can go out and get 3 points, we'll be positioning ourselves, very well down the road. I don't know a lot about Presque Isle this year. That's a non-conference game for us. It's a game that we hope is a win, and hope that we get to play all the players significant minutes. So, everyone's resting. Everybody's trying to get their bodies ready for the weekend, and catch up on any homework that they need to get done, and off we go again.
Well, as I asked Travers, I'll ask you the same question. As you're almost near that halfway mark in the season, what's the health of the team? I know that nagging injuries can now pop up, and being at school, the women are liable for colds and things of that sort.
Right. This is that time where, the preseason and the strength of our schedule does catch up with us a little bit, and we have to make sure that, somebody that is maybe nicked doesn't become hurt, somebody that's hurt doesn't become injured, and somebody that's injured, are we able to rehab them and rest them enough to get them back? I'd say we've got a couple of the hurts sitting out there that we have to manage.
Yeah.
Again, the players came in a really strong fitness capacity. So, even with some rest, we don't feel like it's necessarily going to hurt us once we get into the match. But to be honest with you, rest is underrated, and these kids need as much rest as possible. So we really focus on them hydrating. We spend a lot of time talking about getting enough water, about what they're eating, making sure that they're getting enough calories and carbohydrates, and making sure that they're fueling their body to, not only play but study and get to class and, not look like zombies when they're walking around.
If you've got, you have women that are involved in the regiment, so they're involved in PT as well.
Yeah, we actually, it's interesting because our two students that are in the regiment are also in the Navy ROTC program. So all of these students have multiple commitments, and to think about the fact that they're going to class, they're playing a sport, they're doing regiment, they're doing outside clubs and activities, and preparing for co-ops and internships, and they're pretty remarkable students, to be honest with you. I get to sit in my office and think about strategy and watch film and talk with students that are having issues, and then go home. These guys, all of these women are working about as hard as anybody can work and fitting as much as they can fit into a 24-hour day. So kudos to them, and for us, we just want to win a couple games. That's what we're focused on this weekend.
So what are you working on in practice this week? Anything in particular, or is it just kind of, all facets? Yeah,
we actually break our training up a little bit differently. We actually went to a different training approach. So I actually took our trainings, and it looks a little bit more like an American football practice now with the rhythm of the training. So we kind of have training segmented, and we do a third every day. A third is fitness, a third is technical. So we do, it may be specific to the whole group, it may be specific to areas that they play in, and then the final third is something tactically that we're working on. So this week is just to make sure everybody understands tactically our shape, and we do have to work on some set piece issues, and then we'll make decisions each day with the type of fitness that we're putting in, whether it's a hard day, a recovery day, a light day, or if it's a lot of stretching. Stretching is something that we need to and have to spend a lot of time with.
All right. Well, best of luck this week. We look forward to talking to you next Wednesday and see how this past weekend has gone, and then preview the games against the Vermont schools on the 3rd and 4th of October.
I appreciate that, Chris, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week, and hopefully maybe be able to say we had 2 wins.
That's fantastic. Have a good week.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.